Today we're making a drink recipe from the Disney Princess Healthy Treats cookbook. It's Moana inspired and it's called Island Fruit Punch. There's a pretty picture of it. So this just calls for a few punches or fruit juices that we're gonna put together. Some coconut water, pineapple juice, mango, orange juice, and a couple other things. Let's get started and put this together. First step here, I'm taking coconut water and pouring it into my jug. Next step, I'm measuring out the pineapple juice that I need and adding it to the pitcher. The next juice to go into my drink is a mango nectar. I'm just measuring this so I get the exact measurements that it calls for. The last juice to go in is orange juice. And it does call you can add some mango pieces to this if you want, like fresh mango pieces. I had a mango and I started to chop up the pieces, but the mango didn't quite look like it was fresh or doing well, so I decided to skip it. I don't necessarily care if there's fruit in my drink. I'm gonna mix this all together. Okay, so now I'm gonna pour some juice into my glasses here. Smells good. Finally, it says to take dragon fruit puree and thin it down with some water and put it on top of the drink mixtures here. Well, I wasn't sure what dragon fruit puree was, like if I had to buy dragon fruit and puree it, but everything kept coming up with these little smoothie packs. It's just dragon fruit in it, so I'm going to use this as my puree. So I'm going to pour it in here. This is to thin it out with some water, so I'm going to add this half a cup of water to it. Oh, it's a beautiful color. I don't know if you can see that, but that is gorgeous. Okay, so now it says to take like 2.5 tablespoons of this and just kind of let it work its way through the glass. I'm not sure if I need to thin out. Then you can finish it with a pineapple on top. Voila. Taste test time. I think this looks really pretty. Like the way the dragon fruit puree settled down in the glass made it absolutely beautiful. So let's try it. Yeah, you know what? That's actually really tasty. I am not a big coconut fan, or a big coconut water fan, I should say. And so I wasn't sure about this, but it just really blends together nicely with all the other fruits and juices. And it's really quite refreshing. It's not as heavy as a typical fruit juice either, which I kind of like. So anyway, I'll enjoy this and come back with the final review. Review time for the Island Fruit Punch. Overall, as I said, when I taste tested it, I did find it really nice, light, and refreshing. I liked the coconut water as a base, surprisingly, because it wasn't super heavy. It just felt really good. You know, it was really nice. It wasn't my favorite of all these kind of like fruit drinks that I've done in these cookbook challenges. No, I mean, it came nowhere near as awesome as the Pog juice and a few of the others, but it was still a nice option for a juice. And again, that coconut water base really helped cut back the sugar that you would find in that. And I really did enjoy it. I did notice too, you know, that dragon fruit puree or whatever it said to water it down. It may not have been quite what they were looking for because it was very watery. If you remember in the picture, and I'll show it here again, it kind of sits on top. And, you know, in mine, because it was thinned out in water to just kind of soak to the bottom and mix in it, but I didn't mind that. I actually kind of liked when the dragon fruit mixed in with it. I thought it added a lot more interesting flavors to it that I enjoyed, and it made it that beautiful color. The color was stunning. So I was okay with the dragon fruit mixing into it because it was really tasty. But let's get into my traditional rankings and reviews. The first are the ingredients on a scale of 1 to 5, and that's a combination of cost and how hard they are to find. And I'm actually gonna give this one like a 2.5. For a juice, you've got to buy a few in the coconut water, so it kind of gets a little pricey, other than maybe just buying a pre-made juice somewhere. And also that dragon fruit puree, like I said, I bought that smoothie pack and it seemed okay, but it was a little pricey. So, you know, I think for cost and all that, for what you're getting, it just seems a little high, to be completely honest. Difficulty level on a scale of 1 to 5, and this is a 1, it's easy. I think all the juices are easy. You're just mixing them together and putting them in a cup and drinking them. Super, super simple to do. Anybody should be able to do that. And then would I make this again on a scale of 1 to 5? And I just went dead neutral out of 3. I can't commit one way or the other. It was enjoyable enough that I didn't mind it, and I've got some of that puree. Maybe I'll make that again, and I love the color. But again, compared to like the Pog Juice or the Tafiti Trio Tropical Punch in the one cookbook, it's just not for me. And I think I've said this every time we do a juice recipe, and you know, these are not things that we drink a lot in our house. You know, we tend to save them for special occasions or going out to eat. Though ever since I started doing this challenge, I feel like I'm going to start doing them again more often. But yeah, I can't commit to this one. I think if you like coconut waters and tropical flavors, you should definitely give this a try. For me, I could go either way. Like, I may make it again someday, I may not. I can't commit at this point to it. But that's my thoughts.